Hello everybody, it's Adam Cook here from GodIsAGeek.com and I'm here to talk to you about some Astro's Playroom on PlayStation 5. Look at this straight away, quickly loading into a level. Straight in, there we go, we're done. Cooling springs. This is all I can talk to you about at the moment, this and the Dualsense controller, which at first I was a bit weirded out by because it's kind of heavy, but also not. Very strange situation. As you can see, it's gorgeous. It's, I'm recording this at 4K 60 frames per second. It looks amazing. It sounds great. It's Astro. It's Astrobot. It's that thing, and it's what you get packed in with the console. So this level's a lot of fun, but the idea behind it is to kind of show you how the DualSense works. It's very, very much not a tutorial. It's a game designed to show off the PlayStation 5's controller. And what I'd say about that is I wasn't expecting to be in the situation where my first impression of the PlayStation 5 is thinking that the PlayStation 5 controller is incredible. I don't know why I didn't think it would be, but like the stuff they've added to it almost seems subtle at first because you're not really thinking about it, because you think of next gen and you're thinking of amazing graphics. I mean, how can we push the industry, And yet the DualSense feels incredible in this game. So for example, this bit you're looking at now, it's really hard to get across to you in video. As while I'm walking into the sand blowing in my face, I feel like I am walking into grains of sand. The haptic feedback of the PlayStation 5 controller are done in a way that it feels like you are walking into a sandstorm. And you kind of have to take my word for it, because that's all there is. I can only tell you how it felt, and it was actually my first wow moment, like, what? This is actually amazing. So it's like the Switch controller's HD Rumble, but it feels ratcheted up a level that I certainly wasn't expecting, and I'm genuinely blown away by that stuff. And there's a bit further on in this kind of level that actually sort of, well, do you know what? Let's skip to that for you right now. So yeah, via the power of editing, here we are, about to jump into a weird costume that you zip up using the touchpad, which is, nothing new. So this thing, as you're seeing, is motion controlled in terms of your direction, but it uses the triggers, right R2 trigger, to decide on the strength, and the feedback on that trigger is something I've never experienced. Now, I remember when the Xbox One first came out, actually, and there was some sort of force feedback in the triggers for Forza. I remember reviewing that when that console first came in my house. And this is a game changer, potentially, because as it's showing you here, the more you hold it down, the harder the jump. It's a spring, and again, the haptic feedback in the DualSense is really, giving force feedback. It's giving. Well, what I was most surprised by actually is that there's quite a lot of resistance. There's a serious amount of resistance, to the point where at one moment I was like, wow, this is actually. It's not. Don't get me wrong. You're not like, oh, this is so hard, but there's a decent amount of resistance to what's going on there, and I really wasn't expecting it. Again, we all knew. It's not like Sony have hidden these features. We all knew the controller could do this. But actually experiencing it in this, I keep wanting to call it a demo, but it's not a demo, obviously, but it's a pack-in. And experiencing that has kind of made me start thinking about the potential of what it could do. And I can't talk about that because I don't know, but you can see how quickly I'm getting used to that control system. Getting used to the force feedback, the resistance in those triggers. Let's just roll on to another bit. So this is further on in the same level where there's obviously ice, and at this point I'm getting used to the sort of feedback, or the haptic feedback, to the point where I'm almost not noticing it, only because it feels so natural. And this enemy, for example, just for the record, this reminded me of Mario in a lot of ways. Like, if you've played those games, especially the recent remakes, re-release, sorry. But again, the charm is here. You can see the charm in this level, but it is the. And I suppose that is what they say. This is to show off the controller. Here's me dying. Just to go. I guess it shows you how quickly it loads. Bang, we're back in. For a game that looks this pretty, that's impressive. And I don't want to sort of bang on about the controller, but I mean, that we'll cover this game more nearer the sort of the console's release. But yeah, the controller feels seriously impressive in this game. The motion controls feel good. It's accurate, as you'd imagine. Let's push on a little bit further into this level, shall we? So here you can see, well, again, a bit of the loading, me failing quickly. But I think this is another level which shows the potential of the controller and actually how good the rest of this game could be. I can't really go into that right now, but this again felt very much like a level Nintendo would design. Bouncing over these things, and then if you look up high here, I want to land on that, and I messed it up because just above there's another one of those items. I'm trying to get it, and I failed. And it's got that thing where this it seems far better than it has any right to be. But then saying that, the VR one was terrific as well. Again, the controls here. This is one of those sections where I was noticing that feedback in the triggers, which is just again, the resistance is amazing, and I know I'm just repeating the same thing, trying to get up there and messed it up. Brilliant. I'm again jumping through the glass. You feel the resistance of the triggers. You feel the resistance of the glass being broken. Same for this here, smashing through all these. You feel all of that. Mightily impressive, as you can imagine. So while we've got you here and while we've got some gameplay on the screen, I thought it'd be worth asking you for what you'd like to know about the PlayStation 5 or about Astro's Playroom. We won't be able to answer immediately, but I thought it would be a nice opportunity to speak to you guys, our subscribers, and ask what you'd like to know about the system, what you'd like to see. Do you want any specific games comparison-wise? Just tell us, and we can make that happen at some point. We've got some cool stuff in the pipeline, next-gen-wise, full stop, because it's a very exciting time. It's kind of when you love games, this sort of thing is, it's a special time. So yeah, make sure you have subscribed to our channel. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at GodIsAGeek. We will have plenty of next-gen coverage on all sorts. Hopefully you enjoyed this footage, and if you weren't aware, maybe go back and watch it again. It is in 4K, 60 frames per second, and you should be able to see that on your mobile devices. We don't capture in HDR at the moment. I don't know that we'll start doing that. We could do that, but YouTube and HDR, not ideal. YouTube and 120 frames per second, not ideal. But thank you very much for watching. Really, really appreciate your view. Like I say, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss another video just like this. I say we will have a lot more. I can't tease it any more than I'm teasing it. Thank you so much for your time. I've been Adam Cook at GBSF on Twitter. Send questions my way and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.